Hi, Michael. Jamie reached out to me and told me that you replied to one of his emails and that you're interested in learning how you can generate more clients from your website. So I just wanted to make this personalized video to show you some things that you can do to really make a huge difference in the amount of clients that you're generating. So my name is Chris Mitchell. I'm the founder and CEO of Intellis. We're a digital marketing agency that takes a very unique data-driven approach to digital marketing. One of our specialties is taking websites that are not doing a very good job at converting visitors into customers, and then re-architecting those sites to be more efficient at converting the people that come to the website into people who actually contact you for more information about what you offer. So I'm going to go ahead and dig right in and just tell you what I see on your website and what I recommend you do to kind of change some things up to get better results. So the first thing that I notice is the most, I guess, overall thing that just to summarize the biggest frustration that I notice on your website is it's kind of confusing, to be honest, in terms of the architecture and the way that things are labeled and organized. And I think that there's a lot of things that could be simplified here to make it just easier for your prospects, your prospective customers to actually find, really useful information they're looking for without having to go through a ton of other like text and content, or they can just get to the most valuable information that they seek in order to get them to the next step of the buying process where they're, at that stage where they're ready to reach out to you to inquire about hiring you. So there's a lot of things that can be done here. So I guess instead of trying to explain all of this in detail, because it could take a long time, the best way for me to do this would be to kind of compare you to a couple of other companies that I noticed when I pulled up some Google searches. So I went and searched up data discovery services. I ran some spy food reports. We'll get into that in a minute. But I came up with a few companies, and they're not exactly like your company. They don't do exactly what you do. They're all a little bit unique in their service offering and the products, the types of software that they offer. But and I know your company is more focused on services, but a couple of these other companies do a really great job at the architecture of their website, and it's very similar to yours. So I think that we could use this as a great example to kind of illustrate what we're trying to say here. So. ClearStory, they're a AI-driven analytics platform. They're more focused on products. They have software systems that kind of solve some data problems for clients. But their architecture is very similar to the way that I recommend that you lay out your architecture on your site. So, I'm not going to get too deep into what you currently have here, other than just talking about how this relates to what a customer would expect. So really, one of the main things that we do differently than a lot of other digital agencies that build websites is, we like to design the architecture of the website around the customer needs. So we typically talk to a customer and then we get their feedback and input on what exactly they're looking for when they come to hire a company like yours. And then we use that data and that feedback to implement into the design of the website to help you get better results. So, people don't get confused when they get on your website. They don't have to look around for a while to try to find something. They can just get to it super quick, as fast as possible. So they can, read a little bit more and get to that next step of the buying process. So there's, that's a whole different, kind of topic there, I guess we could get off on, but I just want to stay focused on what I recommend you do to kind of change the game here in terms of providing a better user experience, which ultimately would result in more people inquiring about your services, more people filling out your contact form. So if you look at ClearStory data, they have the products tab, which you're less focused on products, you're more focused on services. So let's just skip that topic for now and go to solutions. So the way they have their solutions laid out is really nice. You click on it, it goes to the solution archive page where it shows like all of their top level solutions for the different industries they work with. So this kind of directly targets the type of people that they want to work with. and then they have all these categories in the drop down as well. So I see like a pretty long list here, which is fine. There's not a big deal with it. There's not a problem with having a really robust service offering. The problem that I see is whenever I click on your services tab, it doesn't do anything. I have to actually click on one of these sub-services or one of your actual services under the services menu item to actually get to that information. So sorry about that, wrong tab. So when you go to Clear Story, you click on their Solutions tab, and it actually takes you to their solutions, and you can drill down deeper into those categories. And again, they have the drop downs like you have, but I recommend fixing that. That can make a pretty big difference because the majority of the people that come to your website, I would assume, are mostly interested in your services. So it's very important to make that tab clickable. The next thing is when I go to the technology tab, I mean, I think you could do a lot better job of showcasing this to look something more like, let's see, let's go to the intelligent data prep. So you click on that and it takes you to more information about this specific product. So this is a software that they've developed. It's an AI-driven solution, intelligent data prep. It shows the benefits, speed, scalability, and automation. So it really makes it clear to the customer how this solves their problem. And this checklist of items here, and then these 3 benefits. And then you've got some social proof. So you got a testimonial that builds trust with the customer, and then some more information about the different features of the system. And then there's some useful information here, which takes me to the next point, is your resources tab. So when I click on learn, like I would recommend, see, I can't even click on learn. It doesn't even take me to a resource area. I have to click on one of these individual resources. When I click on Clear Story and I go to Clear Story and click on resources, it takes me to this tab, and I've got like a little central hub here of information and valuable resources that really help me solve particular problems that I have. So all of these reports it's just really valuable information that you have to give your prospective customers, but it's also an opportunity for you to actually generate some leads. So if you want to put together some white papers or some valuable reports, you can use that as a lead magnet and give people a good reason to give you their information to download that resource. So now, honestly, Clear Story could even do a little bit better job, by actually utilizing some of these resources as ways to generate leads. Use them as lead magnets. So the next thing, let's see. You do have a news section, so you have a blog. I'm going to skip the survey section for now. Again, I can't click on the top level news item. It's a bit confusing for the user. And then, I just get this endless amount of blogs. And again, I don't mean to be, hopefully I'm not being overly critical here. I know I'm not being overly critical. Hopefully I don't offend you with my feedback, but I just want to give you some honest feedback so you can, help fix the problem. So this is just not very appealing to me. It's just a ton of text. I recommend putting some images in here, putting some featured images. If you look at the blog on Clear Story, they got really appealing looking blog posts here. I mean, I want to click on these and read these. They look really nice. And when I go to your site, it's just a lot of text. It's information overload. And I mean, it's when somebody sees this amount of text, they get overwhelmed by it if it's not broken up with some images. So that's something I recommend. It's a pretty easy change that you can make. Let's see, the contact form. I think we can make some improvements on the contact form that would really help you generate more leads. You're asking for a lot of information here all in one shot. So I guarantee you, if we streamline this form filling process, and yeah, even if you do have to collect all of this information from the client, break it up in 3 to 4 fields at a time. Like I recommend doing a multi-page form. I could probably find some examples. I could send some examples over to you, but um, it's literally a matter of just having 3 or 4 form fields and then having a next button. So they fill out the first 3 or 4, they click next, and boom, you got the basic information you need to contact them. You have their name, their email, and their phone number. I would just do like name, email, and phone number to begin with. And then the next page would be information about like their company. Maybe you could do information about the organization and some of the products or services that they're interested in, and just break it up in 3 to 4 fields at a time like that. That way you're not, somebody doesn't come to this and they're like, whoa, this is a lot of information for me to fill out. They get overwhelmed, they leave. If you just ask for the, name, email, and phone number to begin with, you can at least capture their initial information. And even if they abandon the form filling process part of the way through it, you have their information so you can follow up with them and potentially convert them into a client. So I recommend doing that. And you can put like a 3 or 4 step process, and kind of like, I don't know if you've ever used QuickBooks, but when you're going through the onboarding process, they have like a checklist of step 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's just taking you, it's just easy. It's breaking it up in more easily digestible chunks so you don't get overwhelmed all at once. So that's pretty much all I recommend so far I could pick this thing apart really. I could go through and I could probably come up with a dozen more ways that you could improve your conversion rate. But honestly, if you just want to you want your customers to tell you they're getting frustrated, we have a software we use called Lucky Orange, and it's literally a copy and paste a block of code into the head tag of your website, and then you'll literally be able to start recording videos of people using your website. You can see people surfing around your website, where they get confused, where they leave and abandon form filling processes. There's all kinds of issues like this. This is just the text disappears when you hover over it. That's frustrating. Like there's some verbiage here that just is kind of confusing, to be honest, like let's converse, and I don't really understand why this takes me to the about page. Again, I hope you don't take any offense to this. I'm just trying to really give you some honest feedback, but there are seriously some majorly confusing issues here, and I know, like I guarantee you, even if you don't pay us to do the work, like if you, I would like for you to, but even if you do some of this yourself, just taking my advice, like this button, you can't even hardly see it. That's probably killing the conversion rate, the click-through rate on this slide. If you just take some of this advice and implement, I guarantee you're going to be able to get better results than they're getting now, because this is quite a mess in terms of the architecture, the usability, just the value proposition. You're listing out a lot of, really technical jargon, which may be fine for your target audience, but not everybody is some people just need the top level information in order to make that decision. And if they get overwhelmed by too much information, they just abandon it altogether. And you don't want them abandoning the process and going to one of these other companies that's a little bit more clear on their message. Honestly, I think Modus could do a lot better job. Their website could use a lot of work too, but they are a little bit more clean in terms of the number, how they get the information across in a shorter, more concise manner. So there's, ediscovery.co, there's, Spirion. I know some of these companies are a little bit different. Some of these are more of software type companies, and they take more of an approach on their software than they do on services, but just in terms of the architecture and usability and making it easy for customers to surf around and make the buying decision, I guarantee you if you use this information, you'll see some major results. So also, I did some research on SpyFu, on traffic reports. I noticed you're getting 797 visitors a month to your site. That's not bad. Like that's opportunities for you to generate clients right there. So it's definitely, you can see why it's super important to try to convert as many of these 797 visitors per month into people that fill out the form on your contact page and then contact you for more information. So when we look down into doing when we did some research, we look at ediscovery.co. And these are companies, I know they're a little bit different. Some of them are more focused on software than services. But the keyword, in terms of the keywords that they're beating you for and the traffic that they're taking away that you could be getting, ediscovery.co, Spirion, I mean, they're getting, Spirion's getting 861 visitors, or 800 and, let's see, these are keywords. They're ranking for 861 keywords. Look at the monthly clicks. So ediscovery.co, they're getting 28,000 visitors a month. Spirion's getting 3.8 thousand, and you're getting 797. If you were to take away, if you were to kind of start pulling up the rankings here and getting higher up, that's probably the wrong search, but if you start climbing the rankings and starting to beat out them, these other companies for some of the keywords that they're ranking for, let's see. eDiscovery, eDiscovery Company, eDiscovery Service, eDiscovery Services. See, they're ranking #1 for eDiscovery Company, #1 for eDiscovery Consulting. So they're getting a lot of traffic from these keywords. So if you were to rank for those keywords and implement some SEO best practices throughout your website, and just make this site more usable, because like making a site more user friendly is going to help your rankings as well. Google actually rewards people for sites that are more conversion optimized, and you're going to rank higher for that, and you're going to be able to get more of that traffic, and you can kind of be up in this range instead of down here. So if we look at Discover Modus, I mean, they're getting about double, almost double what you're getting in traffic. And then we look at ediscovery.co, they're getting a crazy amount of traffic. I mean, think about how many clients you could be generating per month if you conversion optimize your website to efficiently, as efficiently as possible, convert your visitors into people that actually contact you, and combine that with more traffic. Think about how many more clients you're going to be getting per month. Think about how you can scale your company from taking that approach, and taking a data-driven approach at that. Like gathering feedback, looking at your analytics reports, seeing what's working, seeing what's not working, putting your marketing budget into the things that are getting you the best return on investment, because we're tracking all of your conversions, whether it's SEO or pay-per-click or social media. You know which channels are generating you the highest return on investment, and you can spend that money growing that marketing channel, so you're getting the best return on investment possible. So, I mean, I could seriously go on and on and on. Obviously, there's no doubt that you see the passion that I have for marketing. My company, we're all about helping people just like yourselves, you know, compete online and get positioned better to gain more customers that you're looking for. So again, I could go on and on, but I hope you got a ton of value out of this video. If you have any more questions, just let me know. If you want to book an appointment with us, I would love to talk to you more about, you know, ways that we can help you and see if we're a good fit to work together. If you want to book an appointment with us, you can click the link below this video and you can book an appointment with either myself or with Jamie, and we'll be glad to help you out.